Hi, it's Carol here back again from Together in the UK, and this time we have Helen with us. Hi, Helen.
Hi.
It's great to have you with us today.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. So, a bit of an introduction for everyone watching this. Together in the UK is a new initiative that is aimed to help immigrants live an inclusive life in the UK, and we basically do this by providing a platform to share stories. We share these stories here on our YouTube channel, so please subscribe. And we also share these stories on our blog site, TogetherintheUK.net, so please also check that out. We are also in the process of building a website, and that's going to be able to share resources and advice to newcomers and, hopefully help them settle in better. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so let's get started with you, Helen.
Great.
Why don't you tell us a bit about yourself?
So, my name's Helen, and I'm from Hong Kong. I came to the UK for a master's degree in London. So I just I haven't been to the UK before, so this is first time everything, basically. So.
Oh, great. So, how long have you been here now?
I think it's been a year and a bit now, a year and a half almost.
And how are you finding it?
Oh gosh, I think it's been a long journey of kind of a lot of things that I had to kind of learn on my feet, kind of thing. But I'm really enjoying it now, so that's good.
That's good. That's why we're here. We're gonna find out a bit more about your journey.
Cool.
So something we ask all of our guests: what did you find strange when you first came to the UK?
Well, I think probably the first thing was that people drink like any time of the day. I think that was probably the most shocking thing for me, because back home obviously people drink
after 5.
After 5, maybe nighttime, that's when people kind of come out and dress nicely and that sort of thing. But here it's like, oh, just have a beer in the morning or something. They're drinking it like water, and it's just really weird. But yeah, well,
well, it is 5 o'clock somewhere, as some people
say. Exactly. That's what they all say. So I'll just go with it.
That's fair enough. Anything else you found, particularly strange, or?
I would probably say, I just in the sense that I've always kind of lived in a in a place where I'm the majority in terms of ethnicity. So moving here, and obviously I'm the minority now. So it felt. I know that's a really stupid thing, but it's quite weird. It's kind of sort of you're seeing people that look nothing like you, and sometimes. When you go to events or you go to activities, and it's just all, British people who are, not Asian. Not East Asian. So it's kind of, okay, I'll just, go with that.
That's a really interesting point. And, a lot of people don't say this, but, even for me, I came from Africa, was predominantly, Africans, black people.
Absolutely.
And then coming here, all of a sudden, it's mixed. There's literally every race, every ethnicity, and honestly, that's one of the best things I love about
it. Oh,
Ireland.
yeah, definitely.
But it's really interesting that you said that, because, it must be the same for a lot of people, definitely.
Yeah, I think it's sort of a point that people gloss over a bit, because it might be a bit sensitive. But I think, it's natural for a lot of people to feel that way when they move to a different country. So
well, thanks for being candid with us. That's great. I love that.
Cool.
So our next question is, what do you wish you had known before you came here? So in your year and a half of being here, if you think about it, what are some of the challenges you've had and you've overcome, and maybe what do you wish you had known for you to be able to overcome those better?
Yeah, I guess the very first kind of thing I thought of when would be kind of just adjusting to an adult life, because I've sort of been living with my family for my whole life, basically. Even during university, I was with them. I didn't really live in a hall. Well, I did live in a hall for maybe 1 year, but I went back home on the weekends, so it was not really. And I did an exchange semester, but that also didn't count because I had a lot of relatives there who kind of just took care of me. So here I do have one relative, but I don't rely on him very much, and so it was completely everything I had to do myself. I had to figure out where to live. How to pay the bills, and all the setting up my account, and which I'm ashamed to say that my mom used to fix my finances for me. So coming here, and I just had to kind of sort all of that myself. I think that was just a huge kind of growth curve for me. So
I mean, you say that your mom had to do everything. I mean, I think it's not just that. You have to think about it would have been different in Hong Kong, setting up your bank account and finding a way to get it. So,
definitely.
I mean, that's kind of an added challenge, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the systems are quite different,
Yeah.
and getting used to, there's no such thing as a local council. Well, there is in Hong Kong, but it's slightly different. You never really kind of have to talk to them.
Yeah.
But here it's kind of, if something goes wrong at the house, you got to call your council,
Yeah.
Like, I had a blocked toilet and I didn't know what to do with it. I was like, oh God, who do I call? So yeah, it's just a lot of quite different kind of systems that you kind of have to get used to. But it's all the journey.
I mean, thanks for sharing that with us. But honestly, don't be so hard on yourself. I wouldn't know what to do if I had broken toilet. So.
What are they? I'm going to really hope you never have that.
But yeah, hopefully that never happens, and if not, if you can give any suggestions on what I should do, that'd be great. But I mean, it's precisely why we kind of have Together in the UK. We want to help people with the little things like how do I find accommodation in the UK, or how do I set up a bank account in the UK. So I mean, hopefully someone in your position in the future will have access to that.
Definitely, yeah. I think a lot of that sort of stuff was quite self-learned, so it's great that you're creating a community of kind of resources that people can go to and be like, oh, that's what I do if this happens.
Yeah.
It's good to have that.
Okay, next question is, what advice would you give to someone who's just moved to the UK? It could be another student, it could be someone from Hong Kong, it could be just general advice.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it would be kind of a couple of things. So the first thing would be kind of really make sure that you try to meet as many new people as possible and make a lot of friends who live here. Because I think, especially as a student, if you're coming in to a very international kind of university and you've got all your friends who come from different countries, which is amazing and it's really great. But what I found out was a lot of people just left after graduation. So it's kind of, you have that support system during the year, and then you want to stay, right? You want to stay in the UK, and then you realize that a lot of your friends are just going to go back home. Yeah. So you suddenly feel like, oh, I don't really have a support system anymore. So I think, being able to build that kind of support network from the beginning by really just kind of pushing yourself to put yourself out there and meet new people who live here and know what it's like, and who are local and from here. I think that's really important. It might be a bit daunting, but you'll get there.
I think that's an interesting point, because something I've learned certainly from my own life and like my own family is people in the UK tend to kind of stay in their own sort of pockets.
Absolutely.
And I mean that's fair enough. People feel more comfortable, but it does. There is a lot out there that you're missing by just not getting to know someone else.
Definitely.
A different viewpoint.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's how I found it anyway.
Absolutely, I definitely agree with that. Even just in socializing events, you find that UK people like to kind of stay in their existing friendship group, so it's really hard to penetrate that. But there are ways that you can do that. You've just got to really put yourself out there.
Okay, so give us one of those ways. For that person watching that sort of like, oh, it's so daunting. I'm shy, and like I'd much rather kind of sit in the corner than approach a group of like established friends, or what?
Yeah,
what kind of
I mean, oh gosh. Well, I probably might not have done that in a pub or something. I think that's a bit too embarrassing for me. But I think a similar situation was when I really wanted to get back into netball again, weirdly. And I did that in school, but then I also wanted to find something to keep fit with, and then obviously meet some new people. And it always sounds really nice, you're going to meet some new people, but when you actually get to the point where you should go, you kind of get really scared, and it's too much hassle to go out and stuff. But then you find out, you go there, and obviously a lot of these people are from the UK, and they've played netball maybe for a long time, or they haven't, and it's just kind of a recreational activity to bring together a lot of different people. And so I think it was quite nerve-wracking for me to join it, because I joined as an individual, not as a team, and I think a lot of people join as a team, like they bring friends in and go together. And well, one, I couldn't find any friends who wanted to do that with me, and two, it was kind of, if you go with your existing friends, I feel like it'd be more difficult for you to meet new people, just in the sense you just end up being with your friend anyways. So, not saying that you should ditch a friend who wants to come with you, but if you get an opportunity where you find a sport that you want to take up again.
Yeah.
And team sport is a great way to meet new people, because
definitely.
you have to meet them, like, you know, and you have to get to know them in some way. So I think that's a great way to kind of really, you know, participate in a bit more of that kind of local activity.
That's great. So basically, find a comfort zone, but take yourself out of the comfort zone.
Yeah, exactly. Find a sport that you've done before.
Yeah.
So you don't have. But go, exactly. Yes, exactly. Oh.
Yeah, nicely put.
That was all you.
So okay, I want to ask this because so you've been here a year and a half. Are you still doing your masters, or have you?
So I've graduated. I graduated in December last year.
Yeah.
And I started working in my current job around sort of May last year. So before I finished my degree.
Yeah.
But at that
time, you started working before you finished.
Yes. But that was an internship. And I did that because I heard it from a lot of people. You know, companies do tend to kind of take you on after you've done an internship with them. Okay. So I thought maybe. Why not?
Okay, that's great. You've answered my question before I've even asked it.
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna ask, you know, like I've spoken to a few people, you know, we had Sarah on here, and she was a student and she found it difficult finding a job afterwards because, you know, like so many roles, that it's not that easy for immigrants to get work.
Definitely.
So I guess doing an internship.
I mean, I would probably advise trying out an internship if you're a student, you know, especially if you're a master's student. Usually you have like the summer to do your dissertation and classes then by then, and that's really a great time for you to juggle an internship and a dissertation at the same time, if you could do that. But I'm sure you can. But yeah, so I think that's a great use of your time, and you know, you get to usually organizations, they like you, they'll take you on full time.
Definitely.
So definitely a good route to follow.
Well, I mean, thank you so much. You've given us a lot of good tips and a lot of great advice.
Hopefully it's useful.
I mean, it was useful for me. A lot of people have sort of had a lot of great advice that people have found useful. So, I mean, anything, you might not think it's a big deal, but trust me, someone out there watching or someone listening to you will it'll resonate with them and they'll connect with you just off of your story. So thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
No, it's a pleasure. Feel free to come back if you have another story. If you liked this video and you found it, like, you know, gave you some insight or gave you some advice, please hit the like button. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel as well, because we will have more videos. Please comment your thoughts. If you have any questions, we'd love to answer them. We'd like to know how you felt about it. If you have a story that you'd like to share, please leave a comment and get in touch with us as well. Like I said before, we're small, but we're looking to reach out and connect with everyone. So share this video on your social media. Get in touch with us on social media. Like, all that is linked in the description box below. You know, we have Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and that is all at TogetherintheUK. Please also check out our blog site, TogetherintheUK.net, because there are several other stories. If you love to read, then please be sure to check that out.